Hello everybody, I wanted to do a quick introduction video on Pear Deck. I really think Pear Deck is really cool and really awesome, and I encourage you to try it. I know that a lot of us have experienced it on the student side as we've been doing the training in the district. And I hope you could see how it would be really useful, and I hope you could see that it would be useful not just in an e-learning environment, but in just a regular classroom environment for the assessment and just keeping kids on task. It just a lot of opportunities, I think, with Pear Deck, and opportunities to be creative. So, without further me babbling here, what is Pear Deck? Well, Pear Deck is an add-on. It's not a standalone app. It's an add-on that has been added on to your Google Slides. So if you're comfortable with Google Slides at all, you've used Google Slides, you're already halfway there. Because all Pear Deck really does is it adds more options to Google Slides. It adds additional abilities to Google Slides. And so that's where you'll find it, right here in the add-ons. So I've got a Google Slides open. This is an old slide deck I used to do when I taught U.S. history. I haven't, even the last few years I taught U.S. history, I didn't use this one, so I'm not even entirely sure what's in here, but I thought, why not? We'll just use it. So when you click add-ons here, you'll see that you have this Pear Deck for Google Slides. You probably won't have these other ones. These are ones that I've been messing with. But Pear Deck for Google Slides add-on is the one you're looking for. When you click that, you'll see that some menu is going to open up over here. And that's your additional Pear Deck capabilities that we now have added on to Google Slides. So now we have this open, and now we can start doing things to the slides that we weren't capable of doing without Pear Deck before. So let's just look through this menu really quick, kind of talk about what's in here. First thing that you'll find up here is the Pear Deck template library, which is really cool. If you click there, you can start to see that they're organized in a few different ways, topics, some age grouping, parts of the lesson, and critical thinking and SEL. So there's all kinds of stuff in here, and you can grab just specific slides out of here. Like, I'll click science. You can grab specific slides out of here and just insert them into existing presentations. So I'll give it a second to think here. So it just grabbed that one I clicked and it inserted it right into my presentation. Of course, I can drag it around in here and put it where I want if it didn't go exactly where I wanted to. And you can see that it's not, like, it doesn't have everything done on there because it doesn't know exactly what you're trying to teach. But you can replace things, move things. You could just steal, like, if you just really wanted this image, you could just copy this image out, paste it onto one of your slides where you wanted it, and then just delete the whole slide because maybe that's all you wanted out of there, right? So you can just delete the whole slide and you got the image you want. And if you look through here, I mean, there's all kinds of interesting images and graphs and charts, and they do it all through there. So cool stuff in that template library. I encourage you to look through it. That way you don't have to try to reinvent the wheel. People have already done a lot of that work for you at Pear Deck. The second thing you'll see is one that I think people are really excited about, and that is where you're adding questions onto the slides themselves. So you highlight the slide you want. So say we want this slide here, okay? And you want to add some questions to it. So you have different options of the types of questions you want to add. You can make the students write text. You can create multiple choice questions, number-based questions. You can have it where they will click on there and open up a website, a question they draw on, and a question where they drag things. I'm not going to go into these individually. I would encourage you to just play around with them. They have some options, like in the draggables, for instance, you can change the size of the draggable and what the draggable looks like. We also have some recorded Pear Deck trainings that Pear Deck has given us that I will be posting as well. But yeah, there's all kinds of cool questions and different things you can do in here. One of the things that I did find interesting that I will show you is I clicked on the website one, and you basically you copy the address in here. And I wanted to see if I could do a Google Doc, because I mean a Google Doc has its own web address. So I'm just copying this address. I just copied it with Control C, and I'm going to paste it right here. And it does work. It will stick a Google slide as the linked website to the Pear Deck slide. Anytime you add something to a Pear Deck slide, it will put this little gray banner on the bottom. Do not delete that unless you want to get rid of whatever you added Pear Deck wise to the slide. So like this one, for instance, I made a multiple choice question on, and that's why this, or a drawing question on, and that's why this little banner is across the bottom. And that lets you know that there is a Pear Deck add-on on that slide. If you delete this, so I've just clicked it and now I'm going to hit delete, it no longer has that on there, and when you present it to students it will be gone. So that's how you get rid of it. But yeah, so you can do all that. It's pretty cool, all these questions, and again, I just encourage you to try it. You can also add audio. You'll click it, it'll prompt you to record. You would just hit record and then speak into your microphone, and then that audio, there'll be a green button basically that appears on the slide. The students will click that and they could listen to you. You could also upload pre-existing audio if you had something that you wanted to do. And those are the main options on this side. When you get to presenting, so we'll click Start Lesson, and then you can choose. Do you want it to be instructor paced, meaning you control when the slides advance, or do you want the student to be able to do it, meaning the student can advance slides, ask questions at their own pace? So that's up to you, it just depends on what you're doing. It's going to take a second to sync, and then we're going to have a couple options here on how to get students onto your Pear Deck. The first option is to have them go to joinpd.com. and to put in this code. So they could go to joinpd.com and they could put in this code, EEDWW. Or you could send them a direct link. Now, this is the actual presentation itself that you would be showing to the students. And then this is your teacher dashboard. It opens as a separate window. Now, it's going to be difficult right now because I have no students looking at this, but you would be able to see what the students were responding to on these questions using this dashboard as individuals. And there'll be some options that will come up. So you'll have to kind of, it depends on what kind of question is being asked too. If it's a drawing question, multiple choice, it will look at that a little bit differently. I'm going to hide all these tools down here. And you can lock the screen so that they can't move. You can put new prompts on the screen. It's just a lot of interesting things you can do from the dashboard here. And you can do it here too, or you can just like end the whole thing. And if you want to save their responses, you have to name it and then save it. But I have no responses, so I'm going to end it without naming it. And that's the basics of it. I'm going to put it on student paste. And we'll just look at this again. It's going to pop up. If you want to create a link that will go onto your classroom where they can click this and do it at their own pace, then you can use this copy link, or it communicates with Classroom. You can just share it to Classroom directly. If you're going to put this on something else like Seesaw, or you're going to email it, or what you want to make a link on an image, whatever, then you just want to copy that link. And this will be a link specific to this presentation. So kind of cool. So this is the student paced version. Looks, this is just the teacher dashboard now because we're not leading the presentation, so we don't have two screens open. Where this would be like, we've given it to the kids earlier today, we have expected that they've worked on it, and now we're going to go and check and see what they did here. So here was one where I made a bunch of fake options on a multiple choice. If they had answered this, and you can see how it has, there's the questions there where you would see all the responses in here. Right now it can't show me any responses because no student has given me any responses. So once again, Pear Deck is just an addition to Google Slides. It gives you added options when you're making a Google slideshow. So you would hit add-on, Pear Deck, open Pear Deck. It's going to open up the toolbars here. When you want the students to use the Pear Deck version of your slideshow, you will click start it over here. You won't click it up here. You have to click it here so that you can get students logged into your Pear Deck. I hope you found that helpful, and let me know if you have any questions.